with his trainer, Eddie Reynoso, wearing black with white, also weighing in at 167.6 pounds. In his professional career, 54 victories, including 36 big wins by knockout, only one defeat with 2 draws, and he's undefeated for 6 years, and considered by many to be, pound for pound, the best in the world. He's the former 2-time light middleweight world champion, former middleweight world champion, former light heavyweight world champion, the reigning, defending super middleweight champion of the world, damas y caballeros de Guadalajara, Jalisco, México, representando al gran campeón, Saúl Canelo.
What's going on, everybody? DStyleBoxing here. Really quick, just wanted to come on here for a little bit. Nacho Bernstein, shout out to Chief, he kind of pointed me to the story, and I looked at it and I said, you know what, I want to talk about that at some point, okay? And I said, why not? Let me just go live after the roundtable and talk about this. Shout out to the Dons, the HCP is war, prime time. Hey, shout out to the Don. Always good to see you here, brother. Shout out to little Penny, the Don. Everybody, Fury on here. Check it out. Check it out. Check it out. All right. D-Style, why are you still on here after such a long roundtable?
I'm a hard-working man.
That's right, baby. You know what I mean? Check it out. All right. First of all, all right, and I might throw the link out there. I just might do it, all right, but I don't know yet, though. I don't know yet. Let me first get my thoughts out here, okay? Shout out to Lee Groves on here, man. Next week, I'll have the roundtable here on Thursday. Should be fun. I have some guests lined up. I'll announce those later, but check this out. So, Saúl Canelo Alvarez. I mean, let me first tell you how, like me personally, you guys know, man, I put Canelo up here. You know what I mean? Like, Canelo's like top of the top. You know what I mean? And like, in my opinion, best pound for pound fighter in the sport. The biggest draw in the sport. Like, he just is, and everybody knows it too, right? But has he had that fight? They could look at it and say, man, that's like. That right there is a career-defining fight right there. You know what I mean? I don't know if he's had that fight yet. Gennady Golovkin, maybe. Is it? What fight has he had? Right? That you could say that right there. That fight is going to be like kind of like Chavez had Mel Dictator. You know what I mean? Different fighters have those, like Juan Manuel Marquez had Pacquiao. You know, who's been that career defining fight or that memorable fight? You know what I mean? Like you could argue Golovkin. Don't get me wrong. He was an underdog. Like, a lot of people didn't think he could win. I don't know if he was an underdog, but in the eyes of fans, he was going into the fight. People saying the Miguel Cotto fight, but I don't know. Like, he needs that fight that people will talk about forever. You know? He needs that nemesis. He needs that rival. Who's that rival? And the Triple G one, people take it away from him anyway. Right? Oh, he didn't really win. Oh, he was old. Oh, Triple G's getting old. This and that. And you could say Triple G. You know, I'm not saying you're wrong. If you say Triple G, I'm not saying you're wrong. But is that enough? Is it enough to say Triple G? I'm not blaming Canelo, guys. Let me just put that out there right now. Right now, we have a group of fighters. And tell me I'm lying. Tell me I'm lying. We have a bunch of dudes out here that are waiting for a handout. They're sitting down, their hands on their knees, waiting for Canelo to show up and give them a big payday. Yeah, I get the smoke, but he didn't win that fight. What fight has he won that is a career-defining, legendary fight? Like, who's his, like, Wilfredo Gomez? Salvador Sanchez had Wilfredo Gomez. He had Azuma Nelson, a win that aged extremely well, right? What's the win that's aged well for Canelo? Like, can somebody name that win to me? What's the one that has aged like fine wine? What's the win? I'm not talking about accomplishments. I'm not talking about any of that. I thought him becoming undisputed is a big deal. Great accomplishment. Right? I'm not taking that away from him. I'm not. Believe me. But what is the win that's aged well? Did the Gennady Golovkin win age well? Did it? I thought it was a great win, like draw then win. I thought it was a good win, but did it age well? People saying Cotto. Did the Cotto one didn't age well, brother? He lost to Saddam Ali the next fight. Dude came back and lost to Saddam Ali. I'm not giving you guys my opinion right now. I think he's the best pound-for-pound fighter in the sport right now. I think he's a great fighter, but has he had that win that's aged well? Maybe a Caleb Plant win ages well. Maybe he starts, like, maybe Caleb Plant goes through a tear and starts beating dudes left and right, and maybe that's that win. Maybe Billy Joe Saunders goes through a tear and starts beating dudes left and right. But I want to know the win that has aged well for him. Because people will jump on Nacho Bernstein. Oh, Nacho, he's just hating. Like, are you going to just stop there? Is that your conclusion? He's just hating on him? Or does he maybe have a point? Does he maybe want that for Canelo? Does he maybe want Canelo to have that win? Now, Psycho Boxing fan, shout out to you. I haven't seen you in a while, brother, but good to see you. I think the Triple G fights were great. I'm not diminishing that. But have they aged well? He struggled with Derevyanchenko. Some thought he lost. You know what I mean? Like Rolls gave him a hell of a fight after that. I mean, I don't know how to feel about this right now with Gennady Golovkin. And I think if Golovkin fights an Andre or a Charlo or somebody like that next, I think he loses, to be honest with you. I would favor those guys to beat him. Now, it's not Canelo's fault. This is not about placing blame on Canelo. That's not what this is about. This is why I advocate for these guys to start fighting each other. Like, this is why I wanted a Caleb Plant to fight a Benavidez. And then the winner maybe fights Canelo, because at least they got that. At least that's in the resume. At least that's like, like when people go back and talk about it, right? Well, like 30 years from now, like they're looking at BoxRec like, oh, he beat Plant. Like, you know, if you could say, no, it was him and Benavidez up there, and he beat Benavidez, and then he fought Canelo. Benavidez hasn't beat anybody either. Benavidez needs to beat somebody. These guys need to step up and start fighting each other, and the best of the bunch needs to come out and fight Canelo. That's what needs to happen. That's just the reality. Like they need to start fighting each other. Charlo and Andre should have already fought each other. Those two dudes should have already fought each other. And then the winner has like some type of argument like, yo, I beat Charlo. You got to fight me now. Hey, I beat Andrade. You got to fight me now. Like that doesn't exist. It's frustrating and it's annoying and it doesn't make sense. These guys are just waiting for the payday. They're just waiting for that big fight with Canelo. But they're not doing anything to kind of enhance their legacy. They're doing nothing. They're just waiting around for the guy. And even if you argue, man, but that's unfair to Canelo, that's not his fault. It's not his fault. These guys are just waiting and they're not fighting each other. And when he beats them, then the win doesn't age well because it turns out that, since they never had to, they were never battle tested like that. We never really knew how good they were. So then when they start getting beat afterwards or not looking good afterwards, it doesn't make the Canelo win age well. That's not Canelo's fault. Okay, I get you. I'm with you. But at some point, these guys got to start fighting each other. At some point. They can't just wait for Canelo forever. It's like, you know what I mean? Like right now there's talks about, who's Charlo going to fight? Is Charlo going to fight Charlo? I'm sorry, Canelo. Who's Canelo going to fight? Is he going to fight Charlo? Would I personally like to see the fight? Yes. But they're already taking away. Look, dude's already doing damage control with the Charlo thing. They're already making videos right now talking about how Charlo ain't shit and this fight expired, okay? I'm seeing videos about dudes talking about how Spence Crawford is the fight, but Charlo Canelo expired. It's like expired milk. Charlo Canelo is expired. Even though they're younger than Crawford Spence, by the way. I just want to put that out there. A lot of people don't realize that. But Charlo Spence, Spence Crawford hasn't expired? Somebody explain this to me. Somebody make it make sense. Charlo fans have already abandoned Charlo. Jermell Charlo fans have abandoned the dude. I thought you guys were fans of Jermell. Oh, no, he gets no credit. None. Jermell Charlo sucks now. Like, what do you mean he sucks now? He sucks now. He wants to sign a fight with Canelo. What a coincidence. He's ready to sell out. What do you mean? I thought you wanted to see the fight. No credit. What do you mean no credit? No credit at all. Like, what do you mean? No credit? Now, if Canelo ends up fighting Bivol, you already know what those Charlo fans are going to do. All of a sudden, he ducked him. He's always been ducking Charlo. He's ducking him. Like, well, what do you mean? I thought you didn't want to see the fight. They're making videos on the internet right now saying how like nobody wants to see the fight no more. No, nobody wants to see Charlo no more against Canelo. Like, I thought you wanted to fight. If the fight doesn't happen, Canelo ducked him. If the fight does happen, Charlo sold out. He's a sellout. He's going to throw the fight. He's going to give Canelo a spectacular win. He's selling out. Like, well, what do you mean? So, ladies and gentlemen, I got him. Okay? Shout out to the Don. So if the fight happens, if the Charlo fight happens, it's not a good fight no more. It's expired milk. Nobody wants to see it. If the fight doesn't happen, Canelo's ducking him. This is proof that he's trying to avoid an athletic, a prime fighter like Charlo. He wants something to do with him. I mean, what else can we expect from Canelo? You know what I mean? We should have known he was going to duck Charlo. He didn't want to fight a dude like that, an explosive, in his prime dude like that. We got him. You know what I mean? Like, what's going on over here? What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? What's going on? What's going on? Round one, Punch Mullet, the Don, Psycho Boxing Fan Watts. Lee Grove's on here. How's it going? Isaac. Shout out to you. Look, all I'm saying is, and then we have another fan base, ladies and gentlemen. The Bivol. The mover. You know what I mean? Like, oh, Bivol, he's a mover. Like these guys are a mover. He moves. He's got his own moving company. All right? You want to move shit from one house to the other, Bivol's got you. You know what I mean? I'm telling you, if you need to move and you get Bivol a call, he's going to say 2 words. No, 3 words. I got you. You know what I mean? Like what do you mean? Like, yeah, I'm going to move your shit. I'm a mover. So Bivol is the other proposition out there, right? We got a lot of dudes shooting blanks out here, bro. Like they're talking about how Canelo doesn't want any parts of Bivol because Bivol's a mover, but if he signs to fight Bivol, you're gonna have people saying he did it to duck Charlo, and they're gonna say he's cherry picking Bivol, okay? Because Bivol hasn't looked good. That's the other thing. Whoever he picks. Whoever this dude picks, it's like, oh, well, yeah, of course he's going to fight Bivol now that Bivol didn't look good. You know what I mean? He didn't fight when Bivol looked good. Canelo's the only dude in boxing history that gets judged by like this is crazy. But you know what should be happening? Bivol should be fighting Better Beef for supremacy of their division. And then the winner of that fight brings something prestigious and big to the table. And then that makes a Canelo fight like a bigger deal. That's what that does. But they're not doing that. Like, this is crazy. This is nuts. This is so much nuts. There's squirrels everywhere. Bivol, Better Be's the next dude. Oh, Canelo will never fight Bivol, bro. He'll never fight him. He's scared, right? Everybody knows that if Canelo fights Better Beef, okay, and beats him, or Peturbiev, everybody knows what's going to happen. Oh, Canelo, he fought somebody always tailor-made for him. What a coincidence. Oh, yeah, he fought Better Beef, a guy that comes right at him. Like, he's not going to get the credit, bro. He's not going to get the credit, bro. Everybody knows that. Maybe some Better Beef fans will give him credit, but Better Beef should be fighting Bivol. This is the problem. And I'm not saying it's Canelo's fault, but he doesn't have that nemesis. He doesn't have that dude that people are looking at and saying, yo, like, Canelo, you don't want a piece of that dude. You know what I mean? There should be somebody right now, like, fighting Canelo's opponents, his previous opponents, fucking them up in better fashion than Canelo and saying, yo, I'm that dude. Are you going to fight me or what? I just beat the dudes you beat. I just destroyed the dudes you beat. Are you going to fight me now? Think about this. I know it's a movie. Okay, people go, pinche película, vale verga. No, but listen to me. It's a movie. So, Clubber Lang, what made it a great movie, right? Rocky 3, those that like it. That he saw Rocky, he said, I could beat that motherfucker. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to destroy all these motherfucking contenders. I'm going to leave them no choice. I'm going to become #1 contender. I'm going to make the media talk about me. I'm going to pressure him to fight me. I'm going to call his wife to meet me at the fucking apartment. Okay? Where's that dude doing that with Canelo? Where is he? Where's that guy? I don't see him. I don't see that dude. But this time you understand, what he needs to do is fight this guy. All of you don't even agree on who the fuck Canelo should fight. I can't get 4 dudes who all agree unanimously on who Canelo should fight next. I can't do it. You can't do it. You can't. One man's treasure is another man's trash when it comes to Canelo opponents. That's just facts. To one guy, Beterbiev is a nightmare matchup. He will fuck up Canelo. He'll come forward. He's like a zombie. He won't stop. To the next dude, come on. He's tailor-made for him. He's slow. He comes forward. Easy fight for Canelo, right? To one dude, Andrade, that is that guy. Oh, Andrade, he'll give him trouble. You know, he'll make it difficult. He's going to be elusive. That's a favorite word for fuckers that don't like to fight. Elusive. Okay? Oh, he's elusive. Motherfucker, put the swords down, okay? He doesn't fucking engage. All right? DStyle, he's elusive. He neutralizes guys, right? Let me tell you something. To the guys that really want to see like him fight, Andrade, there's other guys that say Andrade ain't shit. And are not going to give him credit for beating Andrade. We don't have that universal motherfucker that everybody wants to see him fight. Mayweather had Pacquiao. Salvador Sanchez had, Wilfredo Gomez. Ali had Frazier. He had fucking Foreman. Holyfield had Tyson. Lewis had Holyfield and Tyson. Who's that guy for fucking Canelo? I'm not saying it's Canelo's fault, but who is it? Oh, you know who it is, DStyle? It's Benavidez. Dude, one man's treasure is another man's trash, okay? If he fights Benavidez, yes, maybe you, the person who wants to see it, will give him credit. But all these other motherfuckers will not give him credit. They won't give him shit. Oh, come on, Benavidez ain't going to do shit. He'll last a couple rounds, but he'll get knocked out eventually by Canelo. He's not going to get that credit. It's just the truth. Who's that guy? Who's that dude? The universal guy. He's not around. Why is he not around? Because these guys ain't fighting each other. That's why. They're not establishing themselves. They're just waiting for what? Payday. I want payday. That's what they're waiting for. That's what they're waiting for. He hasn't fought that dude yet. Richard Porter says Beterbiev. Beterbiev is not that dude like that. Because some people feel he's tailor-made for Canelo. Some feel he's that guy. Some feel he's tailor-made. I'm just telling you guys right, there isn't that dude. Oh, come on, it's not Canelo's fault. I never said it was his fault. But sometimes the reality of a situation is the reality of a situation. Some people say Andre Ward. Some people would love the Andre Ward fight with Canelo. But some people would say, what would they say? Oh, come on, he's old. He hasn't fought since who knows when. And that's just the reality. He's already had like 3 surgeries on his shoulder. He ain't ready. Of course, Canelo want to fight an old, washed up Andre Ward that hasn't fought in 4 or 5 years. That's what they're going to say. Beef says Beterbiev is the most dangerous. Considered the most dangerous. Is he? According to who? Some people say he's tailor-made for Canelo. The mover Bivol is a tougher matchup for Canelo. That's what others say. There's no consensus. There is no consensus on who Canelo should fight. None. Marion Brown, I'm not making excuses not to fight these guys. I never said Canelo shouldn't fight them. That's not what I said. But boxing fans are not giving him his credit for beating like a dude like that because these guys haven't done shit. Okay? Let's say hypothetically Canelo never fought Plant. Let's say he said, you know what? Fuck PBC. Okay, they make it like they want to put me on pay-per-view. Fuck those guys. I don't need to fight Plant to prove myself. And he fought somebody else. Right now, you would have dudes on the internet like, oh, well, you don't want to fight Plant because, Plant will present it with a lot of problems. Plant is a mover. You know what I mean? Plant don't just stand there in front of him like a better beef does. And that's why you don't want to fight Plant. That's just the reality. I find it funny that nobody ever takes their attention off of Canelo and put it on these other guys. And they make all these excuses for Charlo and Andrade and Better Beef and Bivol and all these guys, all of them. Benavides. They make all types of excuses why these guys can't fight nobody. I want Canelo to fight these guys, but I want these guys to fight each other as well. You know? How about that? Shout out to Tony Boswell in the building. Big supporter of ATP. I appreciate it, brother. He says, hit that like button, all that good stuff. I'm just trying to get to the bottom of this. I'm trying to understand, and unfortunately, whether we like it or not, Nacho Bernstein is right. Canelo hasn't had that, like, everyone searches for that fight, man. And if you think it's Gennady Golovkin, okay, cool. You could make an argument for that. But what's the fight that's aged well? He hasn't had that fight that's aged well. He hasn't. He just hasn't. Can somebody name me that fight? Or a fight that aged well for Canelo? Just one, It's not a blame game. It's not like, oh, well, Canelo doesn't control that. I'm not saying Canelo controls that. I just want to know what's the fight that has aged well for him. What a win. Name me one fight that aged well for him. It's not even Lara, because Lara lost to Hurd, and like Lara lost some fights after that fight. I mean, is it Austin Trout? Well, Austin Trout lost to the Charlo brothers. He lost to Lara. He lost a couple fights. He didn't win the Mayweather fight. Now, granted, I think Canelo was a good fighter, a solid fighter, a world championship fighter, but he was not the fighter he was today. I believe that. Gennady Golovkin hasn't looked spectacular since the Canelo fights. The dude's 40 and shit. Now he is. You could make an argument for Golovkin, but what's the fight? What's the win that has aged well? What is the fight that is? I just want to know which one it is. It's a legitimate question. And Beav is saying that the second fight, look, in my opinion, Canelo won the second Gennady Golovkin fight. It's a good win. But did it age well? What did Golovkin do after that? Besides struggle with Derenchenko, well, what else has he done? You could make an argument for Triple G, but to me, it's not quite there. It's not at the level that other, it just isn't at the level that other fights are at. You know what I mean? You guys get what I mean when I say that? Do you guys understand? Like if I say, like Marquez's win over Pacquiao aged well. Look at what Pacquiao ended up doing. He went on a tear after that. What win has Canelo had that's aged well? All Canelo could do is like really fight everybody, beat everybody. That's all he could really do. Eventually they'll fight each other and some guys will come out on top. That's all you can really do. This is a topic that requires a panel, because I want to hear like people that feel fight hates well, and it always becomes, well, that's not Canelo's fault. I'm not blaming Canelo for anything. It's circumstantial, but to me, in my opinion, I mean, Canelo could like kind of step back a little bit and allow some of these guys to fight each other. I believe that. Virtuoso, what you say? Which fighter has fought up to his skill level in his division? The answer is hard to find, and his contemporaries haven't quite made much of a invitation to make big fights. I agree with you. And that's the point I was touching on earlier. Like, these guys aren't doing shit. And we have too many channels out here that give passes to Charlo and all these other fighters, right? They make it all about Canelo, and I don't know if that's right. I don't know we can make it all about Canelo. All these guys collectively are making this era look weak. Collectively, they're doing it, right? In football, you got to win some playoff games to get to the Super Bowl. You don't just get to play in the Super Bowl. In the NBA Finals, you got to get to the NBA Finals. Okay, but those are team sports. Okay, fine. In golf, you have to go through a series of, to points-wise, whatever, to get to a certain point. You know what I mean? You don't just get to play for a championship against one guy at the end, right? In tennis, you got to go through a bracket. You got to beat individuals. You're forced in a position to beat other players in order to advance, right? To me, there has to be something. There has to be something in place collectively that makes all these fighters fight each other, and no fighter should just get the privilege to just fight whoever they want. Like even Canelo. But these style, Floyd did it. I don't give a fuck if Floyd did it. That's not the point. I'm saying that the methodology doesn't work. Right? Ignacio Ortiz. These style Canelo isn't stopping anyone from fighting. They're just sitting on their ass, waiting on him to pick him. I never said that he's stopping people from fighting him. I said the opposite. I said these guys, I agree with you. These guys aren't doing shit. That's what I said. Lee Groves, and I think the fact that Billy Joe Saunders' face, that he broke Billy Johnson with a single uppercut, will be remembered as a defining moment, but not a defining fight. He needs that defining fight in order to get that. In order to get that, he's either going to have to like literally fight everybody, right? Or these guys are going to have to do what makes sense and fight each other as well. Participate in taking chances as well, right? So, Lonely Boxing says, I think the Callum Smith already looks better to me, especially now that Callum looked how he looked destroying Lennon Castillo. Well, we'll see how that fight ages, right? Maybe it'll age well. But as of right now, I don't know. It's got to be honest. I don't know. I don't know how that fight's going to age. What if he fights Beterbiev and Beterbiev takes him out in a couple rounds? Then what? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I guess that means that Beterbiev should fight Canelo. Like, bro, we're talking about multiple divisions and we have boxing fans out here justifying these guys not fighting anybody. They're justifying Canelo, just like them waiting for Canelo. It's crazy. Just saying. Ignacio Ortiz. This style of Canelo fought Beterbiev right now and won, he would get the credit for that fight. He would get credit from me. He would get credit from you. He would get credit from some people in the chat, but he wouldn't get credit from everybody. Let's not play ourselves. Saying. Just putting that out there. Just putting that out there, ladies and gentlemen. With that said, guys, I don't want to be on here too long. I got to get rolling. It's not that late, but I appreciate everybody that tuned in. I want to see, me personally, like, I wonder what you guys think. Do you think Canelo should take the Charlo fight on the PBC side, or should he go for the Bivol fight and then Triple G fight? It looks like that's the offer that the Zone offered him. I mean, why not? I mean, I like the Bivol fight better than the Charlo fight. I'm gonna be honest. All right. Not everybody agrees with me, but it is what it is. You know, but that's it. I'm out, guys. This is DStyleBoxing. See you around. Peace out.